Oh, so recording is working. Okay. Hey, this is Joshua Chincha at Stanky Cat coming to you live. I know it's pronounced live, but I don't care. It's an internet meme. Not. Today, I'm going to be looking at some really old Pencil 2D files that I created back in like 2022, 2023. Some of them are even older than that. I'm feeling a little sick, so I'm going to be clearing my throat a lot. This just happened to be the one time that I'm alone and able to do this. So let's get into it. I'm not going to beat around the bush here. Import. Okay. Import. Hang on. Open. Well, I'm a little nervous, so I'm gonna make some dumb mistakes here, unfortunately. Open recent. Come on, me. I can do better than that. I'm not focusing. I gotta focus. This is the folder with all the files. You can see there are some familiar looking file names here, and those are mostly the much bigger files because they're complete. Because you've seen them, you know they're complete, but a lot of them are not. Like this one, 9 kilobytes. That's not much, eh? 2 kilobytes. Um, yeah. First off, 100 sub animation. This is really bizarre to me because I don't even remember making an animation for 100 subscribers. Not at all. But let's see what comes up. I might just get reminded of it. Take a look. This was supposed to be the 100 subscribe. This was supposed to be. Oh, oh! I have my headphones way up. Um, I suppose it wouldn't hurt much if I brought it down. This is acceptable. Okay, I'll just have to re-edit the volume to make it work. Yeah, this is just like how it was. I only had this on the other computer that I used. Here, I'd like to show some little details that I added. First off, this mushroom. It's a Mario mushroom, certified edible, but he's alive. Then there's these nuts butter. Lemonade stand grapes. You can see there's a duck and there's the lemonade stand guy. I drew him terribly, but I don't care. Apple salt. It just doesn't make sense. Refrigeratable flour. Who needs refrigeratable flour? And this is like a papyrus spaghetti sauce. Orange curds. Anybody heard of orange curds? No, because you haven't. Angus beef with sprinkles. That is what the Eeveelutions like to eat every day. There you go. Okay, well, there's not many other surprises here because you all have already seen this probably way too many times. So let's go on to the next one. One Blitz has too many toasters. You have all seen this one too. But it's going to be interesting looking into the file again because it's been ages. What? Blitz is incomplete. Look, all the other Jolteons have their bodies. It's crazy that I drew these so long ago, but I can still get in here and just edit them as I see fit. Like, I can cut off Joshua's legs right here. I'd be fine with that. Just kidding. No, I wouldn't. I'm not a terrorist. Sorry, that's not Blitz. That's... Wait. I'm tripping here. That's Blitz on the side with the pink necklace. This is Rillian right here. Her body's not finished. I think that fits just fine into Isaiah's current canon, given that she has a different identity now. Now her name is like Rilia instead of Rillian. So you know what? Actually, that makes perfect sense because she's only half of her former self. Well, that's enough of that. Let's Look at another one. Desert Castaways. Date modified 2025? Okay, that's when it was downloaded to this computer. So all these are going to be the same, as you can see. They're all about the same. Desert Castaways? What is this? No wonder this file was so small. Oh, remember when I used to use, how do you pronounce it? Aliasing for my drawings? Like, you can see it at work here. That is why some of my old animations look so terrible. Look what happens when I try to fill it with yellow. Do you see how terrible that looks? Like, there's little gaps of translucent pixels. It's horrible. That's why I stopped doing that. But my first animation for Halloween of 2021 happened to implement that style because I thought that it was more accurate to the 80s and 90s cartoon style. But, animators back then didn't use Pencil 2D. Pencil 2D didn't exist. So, who did I think I was, right? Alright, that's Castaways. Chevy 10 animation. The question is, what does this have to do with Desert Castaways? That's the one with Fennekin, Froakie, and Chespin in it. I guess, thinking too much here. Chevy 10 animation, I already know most of what's going to be in here. There. You call that a Ninetales? Look at how bloated I drew the head. Like, Ninetales are supposed to have, like, a longer, more fox-like snout, like that. I don't know, just back then I sort of had a thing for really stubby snouts, even if the official Pokemon had a more, like, realistic fox/dog-like head. I mean, I still do that, but mostly just because it's, influenced by Eeveelutions and not actual, like, more realistic fox heads or dog heads, I guess. This is literally the only two parts of that animation that I got done. You can already see, um, I made a whole live stream doing all of this. And then a little bit of Chevy 10's head. That alone, I think it took like 3 or 4 hours just to do this tiny little bit. See, there's a building here, and the business is called Pollution, but it doesn't have any smokestacks. So, who knows what the... Alright, here's some interesting store names. There's Nyeh and a bullet bill. How does that make any sense? Lols. Who knows what that is? Gay Biden? Did I seriously implement that into a building? Anyways, there's a building right next to it saying bruh, so that kind of makes sense. Welcome to Azalea Town. Alright. That's not what Azalea Town looks like. There's many avenues that I could use to criticize myself, really. That's pretty much all there is to offer here. The next one. Some of these I don't remember at all, like Eve GIF or Stupid. Eevee Day. I think I know exactly what this is going to be. I think you've all seen it. Thanks for watching! I'm at the end of the animation, and you're telling me thanks for watching. Lag. You've all seen it. This whole part is so long. You can see how this animation is lazy, because it goes like 400 frames without really changing the background or anything at all. You can see how the camera starts at the corner over there, and by bridging the units, as you can see, that makes it automatically grow into frame. that made it very easy to do that. So I didn't need to literally draw everything zooming out. I just had to do this. I automated it. Made it pretty easy. Yeah, like Gabrielle, she just spawns onto Eve's head. Yep. The camera was over there just to hide the fact that Gabriella's face just appears out of nowhere. Anyways, there's not many other surprises here. It's a animation you've all seen. There's too many animations so far that you've all seen. Eeveelution Dinner. Now this is going to be interesting, I think. This on the other computer it was dated 2021, I think. No, it was early 2022. Yeah. Oh my. Oh, what is this? It's amazing how cringe my old drawings were. Like you can see the shading has a nice texture on the door and stuff, but like look at the angles of their faces. Look at the Flareon's mouth, or I should say Felix's mouth. Yeah, we can see some more camera automation here, where I had it zoom in like this at some point. I even made them like blink and move their eyes and things like that. I try to give them life any way I could, despite the fact that they look terrible. This is how I animated. I separated the body, or I separate the bodies from the heads, so I can like it's easier to move the heads around individually. I have like here. I'll show you guys how many different layers I have going here. I don't like to mess around with animation difficulties. There's even a bottle of ketchup for no reason. Like, why? I don't know. Just. No wonder I gave up on this, because, in a way, I was making it pretty difficult for myself. It would have been much easier if I could have used half the layers. They're just sitting at a table. There's nothing much going on there. Um, I'll have to say that Joshua doesn't look that bad. Um, Eve he looks like Max from Max Movie. That's the shape of his face. Now I forget what is later in the animation. Does he actually like start talking? I don't remember how far I got in this. Oh my! Oh, he starts talking. I don't remember that. He starts talking. Everybody ready to eat? When you think he'll also start talking. I don't have any audio for this, but I used to have all the recorded voiceovers for this, and I just got rid of them because I gave up and I wanted to try it on something else. What do you think? I'm famished. That's what he said. This here, let's let it run for a little while. Yes. At this point, I don't remember what they're saying, and it's really laggy. But they're still talking. I can't believe I bet this is very interesting for you guys. But you can see the way the heads move and all that. It's like I mean, compared to the 2 episodes before, this knocks them out of the park for sure. Sure, it's ugly and it's not good for my current standards, but it's still really bizarre. Gosh. Flareon looks awful! He can't. I half can't stand this, but half need to keep on looking at it. I do think Valerie looks not bad in this, though. Like, the head is kind of angular, but she looks better than she did in the previous shot. Here, I think this is where the end is. I don't remember at all. I don't remember at all. Do they talk? No, they don't. Or am I just being hasty? Okay, hang on. I'm gonna see if there's anything else here. That's where the camera layer ends. That's it. That's it. So there, that's the farthest I've ever gotten on the 3rd episode of Eeveelution Annex. I don't like complimenting my own work, but it's so derpy and so charming at the same time. I need to, I need to get out of here right now. At least I'll be keeping that file if I ever want to finish it or anything like that, or keep working on it. Because what I got going here is completely valid, and I'm sure that I could keep building up on it. So let's move on to the next one. Eeveelution Imposter. I don't recognize this name at all. Not one bit. I have no idea what's going to come up. I might be reminded of it, but let's see. Oh, did I seriously name the file Eeveelution Imposter? What does Felix throwing an eye have to do with an imposter? I don't get myself sometimes. No humans in here. Poke class only. This is not a window. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Lester first Pokemon teacher 1965. That's not canon anymore. Joke's on you.
Today's lesson is
Yes.
that 1 plus 1.
Do you hear that? The room noise temporarily cuts out between voice lines.
Today's lesson is that 1.
Today's lesson is that one. There's just that awkward silence.
Today's lesson is that 1 plus 1 equals 2.
Devastation.
Will you quit rolling your eyes at me?
I can't believe I had all of the audio just in Pencil 2D. I didn't use any auditing. I didn't use any editing software for this. I just made all the audio and put it in. Huh. Well, just like most of my old art, Valerie looks terrible, Lester looks terrible, Felix doesn't look too terrible, but he's still terrible. Don't tell them I said that. They look much better now. So I really doesn't matter to me. Let's take a look at the next one. I still don't get why I called that Eeveelution Imposter. Pardon me. I still don't get why I called that Eeveelution Imposter. Espeon gets Rickrolled. You guys have all seen this, but given that it's only 179 kilobytes, it's probably completely incomplete. Completely incomplete. What is that? you can see that I copied and pasted. Like in the Eeveelution Dinner, you could see that Evelyn's arms were in exactly the same position, and I think his head was also positioned the same. And I think it's the same with Uriel as well. Yes. Now, here's a chance. I'll point out some of the stores that I think some folks maybe didn't notice. Now, one thing I bet that nobody noticed is this store called Teleporting. And in the finished animation, check it out. There was an old, sorry, yeah, it was an old computer here and a new one on the other side to as like a sort of a joke slash metaphor for the change in time going onto the other side of the camera. Then the store called Don't Touch Me. It had clothes in it. Get it? Ha ha ha. Very funny. Not. Sign shop with signs in it. Sign that says just a sign. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a sign. Eat crud. It had garbage spilling out of it. Eat crud. That's a reference to the Furry Freak Brothers, by the way. Walk here. I forget what that was. Anyways, let's move on to the next one. Eve GIF. Now, I don't remember this. Well, no wonder it's so small. It's virtually incomplete. This was before I slightly redesigned his hat because, like today, it would have been bumpy like this and not have that, like, seam, not seam, that dimple in the middle. I think I might bring it back to looking like this, though, because that looks kind of nice. It looks better than his current hat. His current hat just looks like a butt facing up. Like, seriously. Not good for kids. Let's move on. If Quaxly could talk, probably the most boring animation I ever made. Let's open that. It's one of the biggest files that I'm going to be opening today on Pencil 2D. Not responding. It's struggling to load that. And here we are. We have Quaxly. um, looks like he didn't have a very good day today, if my judgment is correct. There's not really much detail going on here, but if I zoom out, you can see that. Wait a minute. Hey. See how it's checkered on this part of the window thing? I'm wondering if in the final video that came out black instead of white. Because this was supposed to be white. Here, let's take a look right now. I've got nothing to lose. To my channel, I renamed most of my animations, by the way. They're not as much of a mouthful anymore. I'm not really good at naming animations. Okay, where is that? I don't think it's this far back. Yeah, it is. Okay, Paldean Problems. It's white. That means I just colored it in, or the unfilled surface just came in as white instead of black. Usually, unfilled surfaces coming in as black, but that's really strange that I didn't have that filled in with white. I don't know why. Maybe there's like another layer that has white behind it or something. I don't know. How complete is this?
Thank you, developers. I look amazing. I love the hair you gave me and stuff. Even better, I'm alone with seemingly no fireworks. Side loser?
Move aside, loser!
I'm obviously the best of you and him. Especially
Now what's his name? Fucoco comes in. Apparently he spawns at the outside first, and then he comes in.
guys. It was only me.
And you can see just how terrible the movement is made.
Guys, it was only me
Like, you don't really notice that the movement is terrible when you have the camera at its normal position.
here. Guys, it was only me.
But when you zoom out, you just see that
Guys, it was only
the speed is completely inconsistent.
me.
That's pretty much all there is to this. Let's move on to the next one. Jolteon and Wolf are fresh, and I believe this is the biggest animation in terms of file size. I forgot that a lot of my old animations, I didn't even run them through editing software at all. I just made the files and put them on Pencil 2D. I never think of that anymore. Yeah, there not many surprises here. This one doesn't have audio. It doesn't have audio, so I added the audio later. The way I made this one is a little bit interesting because I drew the whole car over like 2.5 times the camera width, so that way I could just scroll the camera onto the other side without having to like literally draw it moving. And that made it rather easy to animate this little part here. What did I just see there? What was that? The car just like a Oh, look at that. Look how blurry that is. That's terrible. But they also appear here and there, and I think they're slightly smaller. As to why, I'm not entirely sure. I probably put that there so I could like use it as a reference for copying and pasting. Which, as you could probably tell, was used frequently throughout this whole thing. Like, you can copy and paste this car, rotate it through just software tools. Let's move on to the next one. Now, this one y'all haven't seen, Jolteon Fit. This was inspired by Poofeature. It's like not really even complete though. There's nothing to it. You know that it could be Staticky Cat if there's an R on something, because I made it so that Team Rocket owns almost everything. Leaf and Friends Trippy Train Ride. I'm not going to spoil that. I got a good working on that one, so I'm just not going to spoil it. Leafy Short, on the other hand, I think this is also an animation that you've all seen. What's this? The way Leafy looked in this is so... Like, his body is like... I don't know. I was tripping on something. There's no. Oh, there is audio. Oh no.
Lenora.
I don't like that. My voice is so cringe when I try to do that. Well, as like always, there's not really many surprises here. Definitely no surprises at all. Oh! Like, nothing's wrong, like with me in real life, but I think something is wrong with Lester in this drawing. Let me explain in intricate detail why I hate this. The way I drew Lester, ears way too small, his arms are way too skinny, his neck is the same width as his body, his eyes are tiny and dinky and they're kind of derpy because one is the wrong way. And why is there this protrusion here? What is with this big protrusion here? Why does this? Oh, it's a camera layer, so I can't. Hang on. Why is there this protrusion here? And the way that his mouth just goes like that, and then down into his jaw, it looks ugly. And his ear also barely fits into his cup of tea. How should he be able to fit that in there in the first place? And oh, we need to look at the beginning here. Here's one of my biggest fatal flaws with drawing Lester back in the day. Is the expression of his eyes would be detailed here. Stupid camera layer! Like that. Here. Just for fun, I'm gonna fix it right now. I think this is gonna be an interesting, like, 2-second project here. And the pupils showing any, like, expression doesn't make sense because they are pupils. They're not the whole eye, they're just the pupil. As to why I did this, I don't know. I think it was probably inspired by, what's it called? It's just been a while since I knew about Pokemon. Why am I making his eyes brown? I'm too busy talking. That was inspired by, I forget its name, but it's a dragonfly Pokemon from Generation 3. Police mail! Police mail! Police mail! Okay, I'm gonna shush now. This one has a little bit going in it, but not a lot. We see Gabrielle screeching out the door. There's even a sound effect. But who figured that pause on pavement sounds like screeching tires? It's a cartoon. The way she, like, moves like that, like, directly to the side, it's like she's on a conveyor belt instead of walking. I love roasting my drawings like that. And she also has one ear. I think it's because of the depth, and the other ear is supposed to be behind of her face. But I also forgot to make the other little head protrusion thingy. I didn't add that. I think I was just getting so lazy at that point that I just gave up at adding any quality at all. Let's move on to the next one. Police mail! Police mail! Now for the file that's called stupid. Now, what could this possibly be? I have no idea what this could possibly be. You did not see that. Let's move on. Talking cars. Couple images of car. I remember when I had this idea back in late 2021 where I wanted to like take the put mouths on cards and make them talk. Why? Why? What a dumb idea. Well, that was only scrapped after I imported 2 images of cars. The Eeveelutions have dinner. I'm genuinely confused because um there was already Eeveelution Dinner. What could be the difference between that and the Eeveelutions have dinner? And this one's also a lot smaller, 24 kilobytes. That's it. Let's take a look. What? Wait. I don't remember drawing Espeon like that. For no fluff, Espeon actually looks pretty good in that one. I don't entirely remember drawing this though. Why did I make Valerie's skin so sky blue instead of like a normal Vaporeon blue? Let's take a look at the different. Oh, oh, that's my cringe. That's like when I just look so terrible. the the dog like snow. I'm already looking at Flareon. Espeon looks alright, but Flareon, what? There's no Flareon on this layer. Flareon and Jolteon were drawn together. No way, man. Did I seriously do that to my boy Flareon? My boy Felix. Here. Let me fix you so you can suffer no more. That's not what Flareon looks like. Not really. Not really. That also looks wrong. I'm just gonna take a minute to see what I can do here. Side-facing Flareon. When's the last time I've done side-facing Flareon? I don't think I ever done that. This doesn't look necessarily that good. He is better. I mean, that doesn't look that good, but this is what drawing is like for me. I keep trying the same lines over and over and over again, and I just continuously fail. It would make the most sense if I like did it like that. Hey, that doesn't look so bad. That's better. That's better. Okay, that works. Um, as usual, Jolteon doesn't look that bad, but Umbreon, like his head is a little bit tanky right there. Like you could probably fit 5 gallons of water in there. What's even in it with me to bring stuff like that up, anyways? The way I drew the legs is really interesting to me. They're like thick. It's like I almost perfectly simulated the way they look in one try. Very simple. Nowadays my legs are more sort of like this, eh? You can there's defined joints, digitigrade looking. That wasn't the case back in this time. Besides Umbreon, which for some reason it's like semi-human and semi-digitigrade. I wasn't really that good at art. I mean, I'm still not really, but there was that confusion about how to draw stuff that held me back. Without further ado, let's take a look at the next one. I'm going to save this because I don't want Felix to suffer no more. The worst taco place ever. This is a bit of a bigger one. 3,800. I remember making this one. It was supposed to feature Captain Falcon as a cameo appearance. I don't entirely remember what it looked like. Oh! I'm getting some nostalgia right here. I do remember animating this part. Taco Siren? I called what? Why did I call it that? The way I panned it up. This is an example of some of my old art actually not looking bad. Like, I wouldn't draw the evolutions from behind often, but when I did, it was simple and easy, so they actually looked good, like Jolteon here. Like, that face, he looks fluffy and adorable. Like, and Evelyn too. And the way it panned up like this. And there was a lot more too. Like, I drew a Team Rocket grunt in here. This is a desk, I think, or this is the sides. These are the windows. I don't remember entirely. But back in the day, I also drew the inside, showing the desk with a Team Rocket grunt working there for some reason. And it was gonna have a bit of a funny plot where, let me think. Captain Falcon is somewhere else, and it's all coming back to me. They feed him mushrooms. They're supposed to just be normal edible mushrooms, but they end up making Captain Falcon crazy. So Evelyn tries to go to the washroom, but Captain Falcon's in there behind another screen, and he interruptedly opens a stall, and he's advertising his stuff. Introducing the all-new 2022 Blue Falcon with optional metal seats and 1,000,000 horsepower. You'll be, and then Espeon zaps him out of existence. Stuff like that. Stuff like that. Yeah, I don't remember entirely. That's the basic thing, though. Captain Falcon was just gonna turn crazy and start doing a whole bunch of stupid stuff. It would. I never. Besides this, I never would have animated Captain Falcon. This was back when I started becoming obsessed with F-Zero. Uh, Come on. I can think. I can think. Umbreon is on a roll. 6 kilobytes. This one's really old. It's just Umbreon's face. Uriel's face, depending on what you'd rather call him. I think he looks kind of cute in this one. Undertale animation that exists. It's only 2 kilobytes. That's it. It's not that it's anything special. It's just that it exists. I guess that's what I was thinking back then. And this is the entire thing. Just the text interface and nothing else. Back in the day, I made a couple of Undertale animations, but then my really old channel was taken down by my school. That's why I have some videos that are older than my current channel. Anyways, let's move on to the last one, right? Venre's Wii modding madness. It's not as big as the worst taco place ever. I can't expect much. This has considerably more detail. Or does it? If you promote TR, I'll eat you! That's not fun. What kind of screwed up person is Eve? That was Shiny Glaceon. That's an old community member. And there's Amberline, the late Eevee. Why is she acting evil? It's things like these that I don't understand. What was I thinking here? Check it out! The Wii spits out a disc! And it blows up on Shiny Glaceon's head! And it just blows right up! Like, what's that disc made out of? Gunpowder? The explosion sound effect. Why? And it lands on her head, and she's completely unscathed. It's just like, oh, what was that? But it straight up blew up on her head. Nobody knows what happened to Amberline here. I'd rather not find out. In this animation, Amberline was supposed to be portrayed as the damsel in distress. So basically, she'd end up getting caught by the Oakster, which is an evil clone of Professor Oak, and end up getting rescued by, collaboratively, Venre and Toxic Joshua. I forget what I was going to make Shiny Glaceon do. It's called Venre's Wii modding madness, so it was supposed to, like, implement weaponizing the Nintendo Wii and use it as, like, a superheroic weapon against the Oakster. How did I think about that? I don't know. I'm a crazy guy. But it looks like that's the end of those files. Those are the ones that I imported that I didn't remember entirely, though. I do have more files. Let's see if I can find them. It should be in users home computer. And there's more files. Let's check them out. A Knight of Umbreon. I don't think I remember this one, actually. A Knight of Umbreon. Shut up, you stupid dog! That's a Courage the Cowardly Dog reference. And then howling. Wait, there's a sound in this? Oh. Oh. What? That's not shut up, you stupid dog. That's another dog howling. There's no shut up, you stupid dog. I'd love to have heard Eustace Bag's iconic voice clips. But it looks like there's literally no art in here at all. There's no art. It's just empty. I just put in the audio and then gave up. That's it. This? Okay. What's this? Too many toasters? This is the complete file of that other one that we're looking at where Rillian's body was just half made. If I remember right, I finished it on this computer, which is why it's complete on this one and incomplete on that one. See, before I moved to my mother's, I downloaded it into Google Drive and then downloaded it onto this computer that I'm using right now, which is at my mother's place. And this one's all complete. It should be all complete.
3, 2, 1.
Joshua's got 2 heads. Professor Oak's been up to some wacky business. There's probably nothing too interesting to see here. Brock is terrified. I think I know what this is. Yep. I think we've all seen it.
There's no way an evolution should be able to stand on their
But
hind
it
legs,
doesn't
but
have
I
the
think I
music.
just saw one in the corner of my eye.
I just saw one out of the corner of my eye.
If Jolteon looks creepy on its hind legs, I sure as heck don't want to see a Sylveon on
Sylveon
its
on
hind
its hind
legs.
legs.
If there's one, I should tell Professor Oak because he's able to handle creepy things like that.
Hey, Brock, I found a bunch of standing evolutions.
Maybe
Maybe
you'll
you'll
wake up with the Sylveon laying next to you tomorrow
tomorrow
morning.
morning. Tomorrow morning. Chespintale Frogadier. This is also from 2021. That was back when I made Undertale related art. Doesn't look too terrible. It's just really plain. Chespintale Sands. Fennekin Sprites. Papyrus seems different. His surprisingly confident demeanor is intimidating. That isn't you, Papyrus. That's just a Fennekin head. And 2 little dots. That's it, Papyrus. Seriously. That's like entirely it, Papyrus. It's just a Fennekin head. That's all. Nothing else. Eeveelution Adventures. I used to call it Eeveelution Adventures until I figured that it was just such an unoriginal name. But yeah, I still have this. This is the closest that you can get to the very first appearances of all my very first OCs that I made. Up close and personal. What? I wasted people's time by giving it a screen that moves out of the way. I used a technique here that's similar to what I used on the Jolteon and Walsh are fresh, man! By just making it really wide and then scrolling the camera on it. Now, I don't know if anybody noticed, but in the original video, Glaceon and Leafeon were deemed as missing, and in my canon, Sylveon wasn't even discovered yet, so it was just a free slot. But I put free slot there to try and let people know that there was eventually going to be a Sylveon, and Stella. That's Stella today. I'm just gonna get this screen out of the way. I don't think the screen goes out of the way. It does. This is a free slot for any evolutions that might be discovered later on. So far, 8 evolutions, including Eevee, have been brought to Kentonian attention. With Glaceon being the most recently discovered one, being discovered just a few years back in 1987, there is no sure answer. Rumors have spread about a white, blue, and pink colored creature living in a cryptic, usually locked out alleyway in the ghetto of Saffron. And I didn't spell Saffron right. Saffron. Ghetto of Saffron. And terrifying reports from witnesses claim that ribbon swooped over me like a phantom to what I can only describe as the sound of every dead soul being reborn. That sounds uncanny, but let's not draw any solid lines yet. Let's brace for what 1990 brings. I just couldn't hold it any longer. I thought that Sylveon was cute and I wanted to make a Sylveon character. So I created Stella and that's what happened. This is just this file but updated. The background is from the credits of Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. And I gave it music. That's pretty much all there is to it. This is also the very first appearance of Stella. That flute player is so confused, I tell ya. That's my first time drawing a Sylveon. Looks terrible, but I guess first he's called for that. I was so lazy that I decided to not even make the color differences on the ribbons. No white on the ribbons. Um, yeah, that's that. Espeon at kicking school. You've all seen that. There's nothing interesting. I'll just leave that out because that's on YouTube. Glaceon and Leafeon in Sonic's Faster Food. You've also seen that. Jolteon goes to the store to get milk. You guys have also seen that. Jolteon. It's literally just called Jolteon. Let's take a look at what this is. This looks like a big project. What is this? What? Oh. Okay. This is me trying to update the animation. The really old one. And I already kind of I lost my head! I transformed into my old fat self. Ha ha ha. This is what Joshua looks like now, and this is what he used to look like. And he's so happy and smug about it. Look at that. That's what he used to look like. You can see that there's that anti-aliasing going on there. Why did I pronounce it like that? You can see the effect of it, how it leaves those ugly red specks. It just doesn't look good. But hey, it's a stepping stone in getting better, I guess. I forgot that I had the original file for this. You can see that Joshua also looks different here. I'm starting to update this a little bit. Let's see. This really shows the difference between my new style and old style. Bigger ears, rounder face. The legs are just structured different altogether. Slimmer body. Just generally a more defined style, and I don't use anti-aliasing anymore. It's just the pixels and that's it. Anti-aliasing in this software makes it look very messy. But yeah, this is that really old animation. There's cool stuff in there. Here are some details for the record. Since I'm here, depending on how far this animation goes. No way, this is unfinished. But I finished the animation on this computer, so that doesn't really make sense. Weird. Well, I must have the complete version somewhere else. So I guess that's a wrap for that one. Jolteon goes to the store to get milk. Okay, a lot of people like that animation. Let's take a look. I'll show you what it looks like. I just hope it's complete. My files are kind of disorganized. No way! I think it's incomplete. Yeah. Totally incomplete. Right. I finished this animation at Dad's, I'm pretty sure. The other place. Alright. Jolteon's quadrupedal problem. Well, good spelling. Not. Sylveon looking like a dog. Did I say Sylveon looking like a dog? What's the matter with me? It's a Jolteon. There's really not much to say about that. It was going to be an animation about Jolteon's head being really big and heavy, and he would fall onto his face just because there was too much weight at the front. But I didn't end up finishing that. Just a casual Sylveon's night! What's Lester doing here? There's actually some substance to this one. I'm just gonna... I just couldn't stop the jokes about Brock being scared of Sylveons. I was going to prolong that and turn it into a running gag where Brock is just afraid of standing Sylveons. Ugh! Sylveon doesn't look so good with that smile. That's like the meme smile, sinister meme smile. And look at that sharp front chin thing. So the idea here is I actually animated her getting up and about to get out the window. I don't remember that. I can't stop giggling at this. Brock, he doesn't look happy anymore. He's just sensing that something's wrong. And the idea here is that Sylveon is going to come up on the other side of the bed and just scare him. Oh, did I animate it? Did I get this far? I don't think I did. No. Given how complete this is, though, I think I will finish this animation. I might as well. It's mostly complete, actually. All right. Well, let's move on. Let's do the Leafeon. We've seen that. Meowth is scared of the Eeveelutions. I wonder if this one has the very terrifying stroke in it. Like at the beginning where he says, "If they did, they would be better than me." Like a huge AI stroke came after that in the first battle.
I hope that this standing Eeveelution's done get rich. If they did, they would be better than me. I should probably tell Giovanni.
Because
Here's a fun fact about Ash Ketchum saying "kiki."
in the toilet as we speak, case.
As we speak, Kikaisk. That Kikaisk was completely unintentional. I just wrote the rest of it. There was no Kiki. The AI just randomly generated it. It was a mini stroke.
I don't.
Also, Meowth doing that.
Friendly Afro.
Afro. Of course, that was not intentional either. But I poked fun at it by giving him that funny face and making him do that.
Friendly Afro. Like you are not so friendly, Afro.
Afro. Afro. Afro. It sounds like you're not so friendly, Afro. Well, with all of this said and done, with that all said and done, that is all of the interesting files that I have on this machine for Pencil 2D. So I hope that you all enjoyed, had some fun, had some laughs along the way. Um, Pardon me if I was a little nervous. I don't record myself that often, but I hope to get used to it for the future because doing this is really fun. So take care, everybody, and have a great day or night. See you in the next one.